I'm going to show you how this Somali president financed his army through a Medicaid-funded daycare in Minneapolis, Minnesota that's closely associated with Ilhan Omar. The Puntland government of Somalia illegally directs its operations within the United States through an organization called the Office of the Puntland State Representative. The president of Puntland appointed Mulkai Hussein as the Puntland State Representative to the United States, as you can see in this translated memo I got from her Facebook page. Hussein helps the Puntland government implement its foreign policy in the United States through several satellite organizations spread throughout the country. The largest of these Puntland government organizations is the Minnesota chapter, which was led by a Puntland government minister named Mohammed Keenan until early March 2026. Keenan still matters to this story because he owns Cedar Adult Daycare Services, which is a Medicaid provider. That's what all this stuff means here. Cedar Adult Daycare Services has the exact same address as the illegally operated Puntland government office, 415 Cedar. In early 2025, Keenan and Hussein raised $500,000 for the Puntland Defense Force for Operation Thunder. You can see here the flyer that announced the fundraiser has the exact same address as Cedar Adult Daycare Services. Here's Keenan with his staff planning for the fundraiser for a foreign army, presumably inside the Puntland government office, which is inside a facility funded by taxpayers. Keenan is a close associate with Ilhan Omar, but his former deputy is even closer. Sacido Shea is a longtime friend of Ilhan Omar. Perhaps this is what keeps federal and state regulators away from these organizations. Keenan's daycare also has a history of regulatory non-compliance with the state of Minnesota, which makes me further question its overall legitimacy. In March 2025, Keenan announced the FARA organization facilitated the transfer of funds to the Puntland Defense Force. I'm not exactly sure how it's legal for a nonprofit humanitarian relief organization to raise money for a foreign army in a region that's filled with terrorists, but I don't know, I'm not a lawyer. Do you have a problem with this? Because I sure do. It's illegal for a foreign government to operate in the United States without first registering with the Department of Justice's Foreign Agent Registry Act program, FARA. Do you think this daycare has legitimate customers, or do you think they just build Medicare for customers that don't even exist and then transfer the funds to the Puntland Defense Force at the direction of Puntland's president? If that's all true, then what should happen to the president of Puntland?